Hey everybody, I am Dr. Tori J. I'm excited. Got a couple of things going on here. I got quite a few things going on here. But it is Healing Tuesday. How many of you ready for Healing Tuesday? I know I'm gonna wait for a few people to get on because trust me, over here, they're used to me coming on a regular. I got my squad over here. I'm building my squad over here. And so we're gonna wait for a moment, let a few people get on. If you are jumping on for the first time and you've never joined one of our Healing Tuesdays, put a 1 in the box. Hey, Sarah. I know, Sarah, I was supposed to email you something else. I promise I'll give it to you. It has been a crazy week. Put a 1 in the box if this is your first time jumping on and getting involved with Healing Tuesdays, because this is going to be a good one. We've been on the series about From the Inside Out. This is about inner healing. And we're going to keep going. Last week we had some dynamic stuff. But once again, if this is your first time, never been a part of Healing Tuesday, put a 1 in the box and we'll go from there. I don't even know. I didn't even see that. What was said? I see a laugh out loud. Let me see. Let me go somewhere else so I can look and see what's going on over here. And then for those of you who are jumping on, I want you to share. And then as you are coming into the room, make sure you share with anybody that you know needs this. Maybe they don't want to talk about it. Maybe they don't want to be a part of the live, but they'll watch it later on. Make sure you share it in their inbox. Then the other part that I want to bring into the conversation is if you are watching this in replay, please type replay in there. Hey, Tommy, well, welcome to Healing Tuesday. He's like, so what is this about? So Healing Tuesday is our way of helping those who are fatherless and who've grown up fatherless deal with the challenges that they've had along the journey and really connect with the brokenness that their fatherlessness has created. That's what it's all about. That's what it's for. I am simply here to help you connect the dots to the pain and the trauma that you experienced from your fatherlessness. And some of the conversations we talk about parental alienation and even how parental alienation didn't start with you, but maybe it started with your father or your father's father or your mother or your grandmother, right? And so that's part of this journey, is digging deep into how we create, or not even create, we repeat the patterns within our families and within our households. Tonight, I want to talk about something because as I laid down and I was like, okay, I gotta fire one for y'all next week. But it's just me tonight, and I hope that's okay. I hope that's okay that it's just me. But I was trying to figure out, like, what do I talk about with him? And happy Healing Tuesday, Charles. What do I talk about with him? And I know some of you are talking, like Ginger's on another page. I don't know if she's done yet. We have this shared parenting community and father's rights community. We have a lot of stuff going on Tuesday nights. So I know people are jumping here and there. But I couldn't, I was like, what am I talking about this week? I'm going to give you a teaser for next week. There's this conversation that I have been, or this comment that I've been, sprinkling into the From the Inside Out series. And it's the conversation, or the statement, I'll say the statement that someone made on their Facebook post, where they said that they were looking for anyone and anything to help them heal. And that includes sexually and with whatever else they could to distract them. And so this person who posted this, she's going to come on with us next week. And I'm excited to have her because Dana Martin is going to come on with us next week. And we're going to dig into what that actually looked like for her. Some of you, I can't talk about that because that wasn't necessarily my journey. But I know people who are willing to talk about it. Not everybody's even willing to have that conversation. Hey, Miss Linda. Yeah, Miss Linda and I just had an email together. I didn't get to see what you posted with the last thing you sent, Miss Linda, but I will get to it as soon as I'm done with this. But I'm going to bring Dana Martin on, and she's going to go through that. And she is candid, raw, unapologetic in everything that she does. So just know that next week is going to be that whole other thing. What up, son? Look on my Instagram. That's Juanita over there, y'all. She used to be on my prayer call, and that's how that whole dialogue happened, where I say, "What up, son?" to her. So let's get into this. So we've been talking about from the inside out, because too often we try to get healing from the outside, and this is from the inside out. This is about you. As I was thinking about what was I going to talk about, what was going to be the discussion, I just kept thinking about how a lot of people, you heard a great message last week. Dr. Winfrey laid it down last week. Like he put it down last week. Those who missed last week, you need to go back and watch the replay. He said things like pain becomes the purification process. He said, the other thing he said, sex and substances are distraction and detours. He said, some people aren't even willing to pay a copay for their own healing. These are just some of the things he said last week. And I was like, okay, mind blown, because the way he put it and how he delivered it was everything. And that's where we're gonna dig into some of this, because I want to give you some solid steps to not only finding your inner healing and inner peace, but I want to break it down this way. I'm sorry, I'm trying to turn my page and there's some stuff blocking me. When we're talking about from the inside out tonight, we're going to talk about prioritizing our own healing. This is something that I recognized even listening to the live last week, because I do go back and listen to them. And then seeing the comments. A lot of us know we need healing. Hey, Shay, how are you? A lot of us know we need it. But there's still a place where when someone is talking to us about our healing, it bounces off of us, because there's a place where we question our value. We question, do we really deserve it? We question, is that really for me? Because I've done some really messed up stuff. You guys know me well enough to know I am going to be there with you spiritually and any other way that I can be. But I'm always going to be the person who talks about this from a spiritual perspective. Shay said, and blessed, and I pray all is well with you. It is. Thank you. Hey, Nataki, I see you jumping on. I want to let you know that scripturally, God is telling us that he wants to take care of our wounds and our hurts and our sorrows. He tells us that. Isaiah 53:4 says, surely I have borne our griefs. Surely he has borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. Yet we did not esteem him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted. He carried our sorrows in his work. We're talking about Jesus. There's a place where he carried that. And not only carried it, but I want you to go to a place that I go to. And it's the part where God says that I came to heal, that the Spirit of the Lord is upon us. And he came and he anointed us. He anointed Christ. He anointed others to preach the gospel to the poor. But he has sent those, not just this in this account, he has sent others into the earth to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives and recovering sight to the blind, and set at liberty them that are bruised. That's a promise, you guys. That is a promise to us. And sometimes we forget. And people, last week I had somebody come for me, y'all. He had to get blocked because he got real crazy about it as we were dialoguing afterwards. But he's like, we need to accept humanism. I'm not here to tell you who you have to accept. I'm not here to tell you what faith and religion you have to operate in. But one thing I know from studying all religions, this philosophy, I'm going to put it in that way, is in every single one. You can find it in the Tao Te Ching. You can find it in Islam. You can find it in Hindu. You can find it in any spirituality. You can find it there, where healing of the brokenhearted is there. I'm not telling you to follow those things, because you guys know, those who are on here, you know that my faith is Christianity. I'm a believer. I'll put it that way. I'm a believer. And being a believer, there are certain things that I follow, and the Bible is one of them. And so I'm not going to get into your faith, but I want you to recognize that your healing is a promise. Your healing can come from within. And I'm sorry, but too often we are stuck because of our own mind. So this is where I want to go tonight. Tonight in the series of finding, or from the inside out, from the inside out, we're specifically talking about prioritizing your own healing. I want to say this because when this whole series got started, it was really about the whole, the one piece that I heard that I had to deal with from the Will and Jada conversation, where she said it felt good to heal somebody. And when she said she got her healing out of the experience, and I was thinking, but I watched his video and he's broken. And that's what happened when broken people try to heal people. You break the people you so-called healing, and then you find yourself in a place where you feel healed. That's going to still backfire on you. I'm not here specifically digging into Jada, but so many people watched it. I want you to recognize the fact that she found her healing while breaking someone else. And that's what happens when you don't heal thyself first. The joke within, I won't call it a joke, but yeah, it's a joke. The joke within, codependency. Thank you, Juanita. The joke, or the phrase that's used to add some comedic sense to those who are in healing and deliverance, is heal thyself, healer. That's the message. And if you don't do that, you're going to find yourself teaching people some really jacked up and messed up things. So let's get into this. Prioritizing your own healing. That's not what Jada did. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm reading somebody's comments over here. Okay. So let's tap into this really quickly. She said, healing only comes through Jesus. She said a lot of wicked things. She said a lot of things that contradict how some of us move, but there was some honesty that I will say that was in that conversation that I was able to pull out and even put into my own marriage and put into practice. So I'm gonna go there. But let's get into this. Prioritizing your own healing will require, number one. No, you're fine, Francesca. Number one, you will have to see your own value. I need you guys to hear that. In order to prioritize your own healing, you're going to have to see your own value. One thing I can recognize is sometimes healing other people is just simply a distraction from our own stuff. But I can also recognize that the reason we help other people is because we see more value in them than we see in ourselves. We struggle with seeing our own value and worth. And so we decide to submit into helping someone else. We decide to initiate this conversation of helping somebody else figure out their issues and their problems while ignoring our own. And our own are causing us to be driven to a rock bottom state that we talked about last week, but we will continue to drive ourselves to the bottom while helping others because it's a question of value. Some of you, even last week, felt like you didn't even deserve the healing that was being discussed. You didn't feel like it. And I know people are like, well, what does this have to do with fatherlessness and shared parenting and father's rights? Because you are broken. You have so many issues, things from the dads who have been on here who have asked that question. What does this have to do with that? Your own upbringing has caused you to repeat patterns that you promised you promised yourself you would never repeat. And so now you've got to heal the betrayal that you've now inflicted upon yourself. You being out of your children's lives, being alienated, whatever that is. The statistics say that if you were alienated as a child, you are 50% more likely to be alienated. So now you have to deal with that brokenness. It's not that this pattern's just repeating by accident. It's the brokenness that's causing the patterns to repeat. It's the brokenness that's creating that. It's the brokenness that caused you to choose a person to have children with that would cause you to repeat the cycle. Because I know people are going to say, well, she's crazy. No, you picked crazy. He's crazy. You picked crazy. Why? Because of your own brokenness. Because you haven't valued it. You haven't put your own healing at the forefront of everything you need to do. I want to also say You know, we tend to focus on the good and the bad in others. So let me break this down to you. We'll point out someone's flaws and focus on their flaws and run their flaws into the ground. And we're not even thinking about healing them or helping them. We're just running their flaws into the ground and we're just talking about it. That's all we're doing. But then we also see the good in people, like I told you a moment ago, and we'll talk them up and say amazing things about them, but while ignoring ourselves. And that's the part that we have to focus on. Tonight, I need you to look at number one, and number one is really yourself. That's why it needs to be number one. You have to make sure that you are at the top of the list in everything that it is that you do. We have these long lists of things to do, and we don't even put ourselves on that list, you guys. We put everyone else. We're a mother, so we put our children and all that they have to do. We're a wife. We put all of that to do. We are entrepreneurs. We have great careers. We put all of that first, and we're last or not on the list at all. And I would beg to share with you that the season of COVID was not to get, for me anyway, I'm gonna tell you for me, I'm not gonna say for everyone, but for me, and I would believe that there are a few of you who are on here, that this season in COVID was not for you to just get everything done. Get it done, get it done. Oh, I can get this book done, I can get this done. I thought that, and then it was a moment of sit down. I felt it. And I know that my spirit spoke, and I know that God was telling me that this is the season for me to face everything that I was too busy to deal with. And I know that's for some of you. And facing that means that I put me first, that I prioritize me, that I put what I need at the forefront of the table when it comes to healing. For me, my fatherless stuff isn't on the table, but for many of you, it is. You haven't gotten over the pain of how your father abandoned you, or you think he abandoned you. You haven't gotten over the toxic and dysfunctional relationship with your mother while she was raising you as a single mom. Because the thing that I learned while doing I've Got Daddy Issues tour last year, hit 19 cities last year. And what I learned was everyone who had daddy issues also had mommy issues. And so while we're doing all of this stuff, we're not dealing with that. And then we decide that we're going to get with somebody and have a relationship, and then children are born out of it, or we plan to have children and we think that that's going to be the cure-all, or the relationship's going to be the cure-all, the baby's going to be the cure-all, and none of it is. And you begin to repeat patterns that you promised yourself you would never repeat. I'm never going to be like my daddy. I'll never be like my mother. And somehow you wake up one day and you are their identical twin. How is that? Your anger and your pain didn't heal you. It just drove you into the direction that you said you didn't want to go. See, some people, they can use their pain to fuel them to be a better parent, rise to the occasion, whatever that is. But not everybody has that same testimony. Not everybody has that same journey. Because pain, when left to do whatever it wants to do, can take you wherever it wants to take you. So I want you to recognize that number one in prioritizing your own healing will require you to value yourself, period. If you do not value yourself, you might as well abort this whole mission. You have to see yourself for not who you are, for who God says that you are, flaws and all. Flaws and all. We're going to get into that. That's point number 5, I think it is. Yeah, I don't want to jump to number 4. I don't want to jump too far. So the number two in prioritizing your own healing, it will require you to go beyond acknowledging, but to owning the truth of your pain. It will require you to go beyond acknowledging to owning the truth of your pain. I know that we tend to suppress. I know we do. It's an easy thing to do. It's easier than people. It's like it's become part of who we are. We suppress the pain when we don't have our children around because we get to do other things. We suppress the pain of our fathers not being present. And we use cliches in church like let go and let God. And when I ask people, what does that look like? They like, I don't know. But you tell people to let go and let God. I don't know. Just let go and let God. It's cliche. It's not biblical. God has required you to dig into the root of things and curse them where they started and where they began. But we just say, let go and let God. Oh, you don't have to forgive, or I'll forgive, but I won't forget. I say it this way. I can forgive, but not give you access, right? I can forgive you, but it doesn't mean that I have to reconcile with you. And some of you have to get to that place. And I'm not just talking about your parents. I'm talking about your ex. I'm talking about people who betrayed you, family members. I know people who can tell me that family members showed up at their court hearing on the opposing side and it destroyed them. It destroyed them. Thank you, Angela. I see that. Even Chris says it creates an imbalance when one parent is absent. Absolutely. You get a one-sided vision of yourself. You get a one-sided aspect of who you are when you were raised by one parent. You limping and you don't even know why you limping because you favor one side. Message. Yes, boundaries, Dr. Terry. Hey, girl. Boundaries. We don't know how to set those because we weren't raised in boundaries. I hate to say this about our mothers, but I love my mama. I talk to her every day now, y'all. I'm still like, but I talk to her every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. Come on, winning somebody. And no toxic behavior has manifested. So I'm excited about that. But I'm going to tell you, we lean to one side, and then when we're being raised by this one parent, when it comes to our mothers and these boundaries, there were none. As the eldest child, adultification becomes a thing. No boundaries. You then become the other parent to the other children in the household. No boundaries. Some of you have become the listener, I'll say it that way, the listener to all your mother's troubles and woes and men issues and all that. No boundaries. Some of you were made to be responsible and the man of the house at a young age and became your mother's boyfriend. They call that emotional incest, y'all. That's a word. That's a thing. No boundaries. So when you were raised in no boundaries, you have no idea how to actually execute and implement them for your own life. Thanks, Dr. Terry. Sarah says, I still haven't been able to respond to mine over his answer. I don't know how I feel about it. I got to coach you through that a little bit, Sarah, because some of the stuff you were leading with, I was like, I don't know if that's going to go with the way you want it to go. Kenneth says you have to find your light through the pain to shine it for the children to see and find you. Come on, Kenneth. Francesca says, be loved and be in love despite our flaws. Yeah, praise his wonderful name. Look, I ain't even gonna go back to that, but that's a yes. Restoration can come when true forgiveness and acknowledgement precedes. That's a message too. I need you guys to understand that our parents aren't perfect. And I said this the other day, and I'll say it again, because it's a very powerful message. I watched this, and I think it's something that this community should watch. If you have Amazon Prime, put a 1 in the box for me. Put a 1. Amazon Prime. Look, I'm promoting. Amazon Prime. And I don't even like Amazon like that, but unfortunately, because Jeff Bezos get on my nerves. Put a 1 in the box if you have Amazon Prime. I need you to watch something. It is a powerful, powerful thing. On Amazon Prime, there is a documentary called Little White Lie. It is a powerful account of a young woman who is raised by one father, at some point finds out that wasn't her father. And then you walk through this journey of her confronting her parents and really finding out who she is. Okay, I see some ones over here. Okay, y'all got to go watch Little White Lie. But the thing that her mother said at the end is what I want to repeat. After going back and forth, taking time. See, this is a part of going beyond acknowledging, but owning it. When you own it, you get to confront the people who created the pain. When you own it, you get to confront the people who created the pain. That's what she did in this documentary. And by the time she gets to the end, because it's a back and forth, your healing won't come instantly. She went to her parents, she went to her mother, she went to her father, she went to her mother, time, and there was time in between these moments. And then there was time where there was, no conversation at all. But she would constantly go back and forth, because getting your healing is not an instant thing. It is a process. And so she goes through this process, but at the end, her mother, with tears in her eyes, she reached out for her daughter's hand over dinner, and she said, "Before I was your mother, I was a woman. And before I was a woman, I was a child. And before I was a child, I was just me." And when we're able to see that part of our parents, we're able to see who they are and have compassion, and then move towards forgiveness for them. And whoever has harmed us, it's the same thing. We have to see them as a human being. Yes, that is the problem. Chris says the problem is they reject the responsibility of it. And then that's part, but see, when you watch Little White Lie, you'll see what happens when people reject, right? It doesn't mean that you stop going to them. Even when they would reject, even when her mother would lie again, she's like, okay, she put a pause on it for a minute, Dr. Terry, and she would come back. Because when you're confronting people, even in love, it is startling. You are not only changing the narrative, but if people have lived the lie for generations, you are now outing them. You are exposing them. Yes, remove all the layers and titles all day long. And when you do that, you're going to get this place of rejection. So you have to expect that. That's the first thing you should expect. So don't be thrown off by it. Don't let it offend you, or, that's human nature. You're confronted out of nowhere. You're not ready. I was not ready. That's what they're saying. That's what that mother was saying. So I'm saying that to let you know that there came a point where this mother went through this journey with her daughter at the end of this documentary that we all have to go through when it comes to prioritizing our own healing. Who were you before you were a mother? Who were you before you were a woman? Who were you in your childhood? Who were you when you were just me? See, I can breathe and think about who I was before some of the stuff that happened to me that I hadn't worked through fully, and I'm now working through, when I was just me. And when I do that, when I breathe in and I get quiet and I sit calmly and I don't let stuff race in and out of my mind, but I just focus on who Tori was, I can remember who she was, and I can sit in who I am because of that. If you can't remember who me is outside of all of this other stuff, you won't get to that place. You won't get to that place of just being able to own it. Owning it requires you to sit in it, sit by yourself. But you know what we do? We do things that deal with distraction. But let me not jump there, because that's my number 3. When I say owning the truth of your pain, what I mean is it's time to accept and experience it. Another word that Dr. Winfrey used last week was embrace. What's an embrace, y'all? It's a hug. It's something you draw close to you. So when you draw your pain close to you, you hug it and you love it and you experience it. You tell the little girl and the little boy you're going to be okay. And you wear it People are like, oh my gosh, she's talking about she's a product of an adulterous affair. Like, y'all clutch y'all pearls when I say stuff like that. That's me owning how I got here, but it doesn't define who I am. But many of you are like, when you first hear me say that, I'm a product of an adulterous affair. What does that mean to you? That's embarrassing. That's the elephant in the room. I'm not the elephant in anybody's room. I'm not the little white lie. And I'm definitely not the secret. So when I can own the place of my pain, then I bring it close and I hug it and I love it. I embrace it. And I love it to a place where I'm healed and I'm whole. And then when I own the truth of my own pain, I stop coming into agreement with the lie of avoidance, which has many of you stuck. The lie. What's the lie that you tell yourself that someone spoke into your life? Many of you dads, them false allegations have become your reality because there's something about a lie. The longer you believe it and you accept it and you take it in, you then become it. And many of you have agreed with the lie, and now you become the thing that you were like, that wasn't me. And now you've proven people wrong, or you've proven them right. I'm sorry. You've proven those people right when you were never that to begin with. But every false allegation, every silver bullet, every lie told about you in secret or in public, you have now become that lie because you came into an agreement with it. That's why. There was something in you that believed that enough about you that you then became that. And so now I got to take you back to number one. You got to value yourself enough to know to break up with the lie. You got to value yourself enough to know that. Sarah says, I've had similar conversations with my mom. She's gone now, but that conversation was very healing to me. I have saved it in my messenger. That's powerful when you have that. My mother allowed me to record it. Mine is on YouTube. It's on TFGF's Facebook page as well, but my mother allowed me to record it. And in allowing me to record it, now it's out there for the world to see. Maybe one day we'll do a mother-daughter tour and we'll have this conversation with us sitting side by side and teaching you guys how to ask your parents the hard question. That's we're building to a better relationship. So I need us to keep praying for that, because I think we could bring tremendous healing to a lot of individuals. Oh yeah, Francesca says, I'm like a whipping post of false allegations. I get it, because I've seen some of the false allegations. I cannot tell you some of the stuff I have seen mothers write down in emotion, and we know it's a lie. Yes, Dr. Terry, break up with the lie. Yep. Chris says, even though it's not true, it still hurts. And you allowing it to hurt you like that, then you agree with it. And you say, yep, you agree with it. And so the next thing I want to say here within my number 2 is stop rejecting the experience. You have to experience the pain in order to heal it. But too many of you are rejecting it. And when you reject it, you don't even get to step into your purpose fully. I wrote down here on my paper, the moment you step into the pain and experience it, you will birth your purpose. It does hurt like hell. Absolutely, it does. Because hell was what brought it to your doorstep in the first place. What the enemy meant for your harm, God turns it around for your good, for your purpose. But many of you can't even embrace that. Alienated from your children, growing up fatherless, molested. I saw somebody said, I'm a product of incest. What the enemy meant for your harm, God is turning it around for your good, for your purpose. Hear that. But if you don't embrace it, see, we read scripture and say, many are called, few are chosen. What? Many called, few chosen. What's in between called and chosen? Requirement. The requirement of letting stuff go, the requirement of healing, the requirement of being obedient. Most of that obedience is dealing with your trauma. God doesn't tell me what to do per se. I don't hear that part of it. I hear you better go heal that. Oh, that hurts you. You got to deal with it. Because hurt and pain will cause you to do what we're about to talk about. Prioritizing your own healing will require you to remove all distractions and detours. See, sex and substances, as we talked about last week when Dr. Winfrey was giving that conversation, those are detours. And I don't want to talk too much about that because when Dana comes on next week, I'm going to let her dig all into that. I'm going to let her dig into all of that. I'm going to let her take that someplace, okay? And I'm not going to go there tonight. But I need you to know that those are detours. I want to get into this part of it, though, because we take these detours and we allow these distractions to happen. But what is a detour? Detour is simply the long way around to the same destination. It's a long way around. I even wrote down here, the detour, and another way of saying it, is a long route taken to avoid something. Typically, when you're going around a detour, what's there? They're digging up a road. They're putting pipes down. They're doing something, but that's healing. When you think about that, let's even say there's an accident, but they got to clear the accident out of the way. That is what healing looks like. If you don't take the detour and you go straight, you will find yourself, how do I want to put this? You will find yourself, not on the road. Don't go down the road. Some of y'all are going to take me literally. I'm not telling you go down a road that says detour. But what I'm telling you to do is don't avoid your own busted up pipes. Don't avoid your own brokenness, your own issues by taking the detour. I want you to spend the time to do the healing, to repair the road, to get you back. God said that he would make every crooked place straight and every rocky and bumpy road smooth. That's what he's promising you. That's what he's promising you. But if you continue to go on these detours and these relationships, and not just sexual, some of us get involved in business relationships, healing relationships, whatever these relationships are, and we get too entangled with people we weren't even intended to be in relationship with. They were supposed to walk by us. They were supposed to, but somehow we said, hey, and they stuck around way too long. I have a boyfriend from like back in the day that I know that was the situation. Know it was the situation. So my question to you tonight that I'm going to leave with you in number 3 is, what are you avoiding? What part of your healing are you avoiding by taking all of these detours? What part of it? Number 4, when it comes to prioritizing our own healing, number 4 is affirm and confirm to affirm and confirm to obtain the healing your heart desires. That's what you got to do. And how do you affirm and confirm? This is about yourself. Dr. Terry said, I got an A in avoidance. Yes, that's me. And we don't have Nidhi on tonight. Nidhi, I believe, is moving to Kansas, you guys. That's one of our people who's always on here. But she's moving to Kansas, I believe, this week. And so we were talking on Instagram. But it is a very difficult thing to affirm ourselves. It is difficult. And then confirming that by speaking words of affirmation, positive things, some of the scriptures that I spoke over you tonight. Because negative self-talk is ruling. It is moving this thing for me. I'm trying to drink a gallon of water a day, and I'm like, I haven't gotten there yet. I'm 3/4 of the way. I don't know. Why do I have to say that? How many ladies, somebody tell you look like, she'd be like, this whole thing? You don't say that, but that's kind of, the context. Oh, I got this thing for $5. They don't need to know that. They don't need to know that. But today I had my first session with a personal trainer. Come on, somebody. I'm still nauseated. I almost threw up, but I didn't. That's that first day back. And When I walked in, they were like, girl, you all swaggy. And I was like, huh? Oh, okay. Thank you is the operative word. How many of us have a hard time receiving compliments? That's because you don't compliment yourself. You don't speak words of affirmation over yourself. I'm raising my hand because that's me. So this week, what I want you to do is I want you to write one positive affirmation about yourself and stick it on the mirror. I'm not going to make you do a whole bunch of stuff because that just becomes overwhelming and it ain't never going to get done. When I'm telling you right now to affirm and confirm yourself to obtain the healing your heart desires, that also means within the next 7 days, you're going to have to say no to dysfunctional, toxic people that you've said yes to, knowing that they were dysfunctional and toxic. Dr. Winfrey said something last week that really, it hit somewhere for me. And he said this because I know people who do this. And I had to double check to see if this was me. He said, staying in relationships to prove a point in fear of repeating the pattern. Staying in relationships to prove a point in fear of repeating the pattern. Some of us have stayed in relationships too long. They're dysfunctional, they're toxic, and we know it. But because we were so afraid to repeat the pattern, we stayed. And now we have some really bad situations we're dealing with. Now we got some stuff that we have to clean up. We got some messes we have to clean up. Some of that will require us to say no, and some of that will require us to set boundaries. You've got to discern which one that relationship happens to be. That's over the next 7 days. It will take 21 days to start affirming yourself, but it'll take 3 cycles total to confirm it. That's cognitive behavior. It will take 63 days for you to break the habit, to kick these things that we do, these patterns, these behavioral issues that we all have. So I need you to start locking it in. You pick a day. It can start today. It can start tomorrow morning. But start with 7 days. Positive affirmation. What's the thing that you're challenged with the most? Is it that you're lovable? Is it that you're worthy? Is it that you're valuable? Is it that you're successful? Is it that you're beautiful? Is it that you deserve a relationship? Whatever that is. And I'm speaking from a female's perspective. Men, do you struggle with being good enough? Are you insecure in your fatherhood and in your parenting? You gotta ask yourself these questions. Not having a father present, did it make you feel like, because he didn't tell me I was a man, I questioned my own manhood? That's a thing. When men are honest, you get to hear those conversations. Not honest, sorry, that's not nice, men. When men feel safe, those are the kind of things they say. Yes, window markers are a great purchase. Message on the mirror. I do the same thing, Angela. Yep, I have them. And then look, I've erased them a few times to do something else. And when the bathroom steams up, you can see it. You can see the message still in the mirror. So I definitely know that. Yeah. Because at our office, we can write on the windows and put things to do and all of that. So the windows allow you to do that. So I was like, oh, let me take some of these home and write it on the mirror. So yeah, if you don't want to do a sticky note or a Post-it note, get window markers. Yep. Maybe $5-6. You can get some really good ones and you can write a word of affirmation on your mirror. That's where it is. So that's what I have for you guys tonight. That's what I wanted to talk to you about. I'm early too. I kind of flew through that one. I wasn't trying to, but you guys were engaging enough where I didn't feel like I had to really keep honing on, hitting on it. Because last week, I'm gonna tell you, I know by my spirit, too many of you were going, I don't know if I deserve this. I don't know. And tonight I needed to come back and reinforce the message of inner healing is for you. You wouldn't be on here if it wasn't for you right now. You wouldn't. You wouldn't be able to be on here. Nataki said, I used to write on the bathroom mirror. Go back to writing on the bathroom mirror, my love. There's some things you got to say about yourself that needs to be put on a mirror because we won't say it. There are things that we say within our own hearts that keep us from our own inner healing. I have probably inflicted myself with some of the worst, the worst things said on the inside of me, right? I say some of the worst things. Woo! Let me say this, because I'm gonna celebrate. Can I celebrate a small win with you guys? Not even a small win. Can I celebrate a win with you guys tonight on here? Because that's my issue. I don't celebrate wins, and I just keep moving. I just keep going. Can I celebrate it? I need a yes. I need some hearts. I need something. I need y'all to tell me yes, I can celebrate. Not that I need your validation, but I'm just saying. Y'all my squad, so I'm even with your tooth is broken, though, you know what? We might be able to help you figure that out. There's plenty of places that can help you get that done. And for no cost or low cost. I got a friend that I know, she used to do all of her stuff on the low. So let me tell you, so yesterday I got a phone call from a publishing company that I had been eyeballing for a little while. I've been eyeballing them a little while. And I got a phone call where they were not willing. That's a bad word. See, I'm downplaying it. Tokyo's book, Tokyo Finds His Daddy, got picked up by a publishing company yesterday. See, just say it. See, you see how hard that is for me to do? So yes, Tokyo Finds His Daddy was picked up by a publishing company yesterday. And I am super excited about it because I've just kind of had it sitting on the back burner. But it's there, but I haven't really pushed it. And this is a huge thing to be able to do because now it will be international. It'll be in every store. It'll be everywhere I wanted it to be. And it's a subsidiary of Simon & Schuster, which is an amazing publishing company. So Simon & Schuster got my eyeball on them, okay, just so y'all know. I've taken pictures in front of them when I've gone to New York, in front of the building when I've gone to New York. And so I've had my eyeball on them for a while. That's where bestsellers and stuff like that come out of. So yeah, so Tokyo's book got picked up yesterday. And then today, yes, Francesca, yes. And I've written some things, right? I've self-published some things, but to have it like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh my God, it's done. And then today I got the acceptance letter. Somebody put my name in a hat, y'all. They put my name out there, and they had been inboxing me for a while. And I was like, okay, I'll get to it. And I hadn't really read it. I'll be honest with you. I didn't read who it was from. But they were like coming for me. They were like, we've been trying to reach you. And it was actually Forbes Business Council. And they asked me to join Forbes Business Council today. I have been vetted and accepted, for those who say they vetted me. I've been vetted and accepted into Forbes Business Council, which I have two friends who are in the organization, and they told me how amazing it is. So it's going to add credibility. It's going to add, I get to write articles that then are published on, Forbes, not in the magazine, but on the website. That works for me. So I'm super excited about just the doors that are getting opened. And I can tell you about them as they're coming up. Learn to keep silent now when it ain't quite made it. But just know that that's some of the stuff that's been going on over here. Pray for me as I go back to the personal trainer on Thursday. I'm just trying to learn some of the things I need to do. And just let me put this out here. I am still, yes, off the charts all day. And see, celebrate. Y'all gotta help me with this. Y'all got to help me with this. I'm not that great at it. I don't celebrate myself. And I have to celebrate myself because it's important that I do that so then I can celebrate my husband. Yeah. Yes, walking through the doors of favor, because I've been at the other doors that had lots of opposition, Dr. Terry. And now this seems to be a season of a little more ease. And I'm just believing that there's going to be ease through this next season of my life. But for those of you who have enjoyed Healing Tuesday, you need a little bit something extra, go to beyondfatherless.com. That's where you can get a free assessment. I will spend 30 minutes with you and then begin to break down some of the ways I can actually do personal coaching with you. That's what I need to do. I need to help some of you through some of the personal coaching so that you can then get to the next level. Some of you won't be able to do the work on your own because there's some other stuff that you need to dig into. I'm sorry, somebody distracted me on Periscope. Because what you guys don't know is this is not only on Facebook, it's on YouTube, it's on Periscope, it's on Instagram, I've put it on multiple platforms. It's on LinkedIn. So it's on multiple platforms streaming live at the same time. So someone chimed in from Periscope and I'm like, what? Yeah, Nataki said, many of us forget to celebrate ourselves and many of us forget to invest in ourselves. And we have to invest in ourselves. I have cut the prices literally in half during COVID. So go, the assessment is free. And Healing Tuesday is just the taste of what you get. You get so much more when you have me one-on-one or within a coaching group. So I hope you guys will go check it out, beyondfatherless.com, do the free assessment, and we can see where I can help you grow and heal and figure out maybe you don't know your pain. Let me help you connect the dots to that. So I'm going to call it a night. I'm a few minutes early. Sarah said, are you talking to me? Yes, I am. No, I don't know. Thank you guys I like that idea, Angela. I saw it when it went up. Yeah, we can party on Zoom. Yes. We can pop some bottles with Jessica. Jessica's over here popping bottles, Dr. Terry. We can pop some bottles on Zoom. Jessica said, I'm on my way. Okay, go on your way. And do the assessment, but also let's figure out how to celebrate some of this stuff on Zoom. We have to figure new ways out and shift in the season. But thank you guys so much for tuning in to Healing Tuesday. I am going to get off of here. Much love and hugs to you, Dr. Terry. Hopefully I will see you Thursday night with Aaron, where that's another thing. I haven't been able to do that, where we pop and twerk and dance and really get all the stuff off of us. But I pray that you got some stuff that you needed tonight and that, I'm frozen. Uh-oh. It's frozen over here, y'all. I don't want it to freeze while I say goodnight. Okay, there it is. But I pray that you got the things that you needed tonight. I am Dr. Tori J. I am the founder and CEO of the Fatherless Generation Foundation. And I am blessed that God has called me to step in to your life and help you heal in this particular season. All right, I will talk to you soon. All right, you guys have a good night. I'm going to end this one first. All right, bye. It's not